We should never have gotten to the point where our troops in Afghanistan had to ask whether they were going to be paid. That's a scandal. And it's scandalous that our Republican colleagues would threaten, for the first time in American history, to torpedo America's creditworthiness and American jobs unless they succeeded in enacting a budget plan to end the Medicare guarantee, slash Medicaid, and slash critical investments in education in our future. That was the plan. They wanted to do that now, and they wanted to have this whole debate again 6 months from now. Why? Not to reduce the deficit. If the goal was to reduce the deficit, why refuse to end taxpayer subsidies for the oil companies? If reducing the deficit was the purpose, why refuse to end special breaks for corporate jets and the folks at the very high end of the income scale? That wasn't the plan. The plan was to use this moment to threaten the economy, to try and slash the social safety net and those critical investments in education, innovation in our future. And guess what? They failed to do that. They failed to end the Medicare guarantee. They failed to slash Medicaid. They failed to slash education. In this measure, we succeeded in protecting Medicare and Social Security beneficiaries. We succeeded in protecting seniors in nursing homes, individuals with disabilities, and poor kids who depend on Medicaid for their health care. And we succeeded in providing room for critical investments in education and America's future. Don't get me wrong, Mr. Speaker. There is much in this plan I don't like. We did not succeed in shutting down special interest tax loopholes that add hundreds of billions of dollars to our deficits. Our Republican colleagues refused to cut those subsidies for big oil companies. They refused to cut the others. And now we're going to have a great debate. We're going to have a great debate about how to grow the economy and reduce our long-term deficit. It will be a debate about our national priorities. I hope we will support the balanced approach that the President has called for. I have very limited time, okay. I'm sorry. One that refuses to put greater burdens on Medicare beneficiaries in order to provide greater tax breaks to the wealthiest Americans. And in the coming months, our Republican colleagues will be given the following test. Will they choose to protect special interest tax breaks over investments necessary to keep our nation strong and secure? Will they finally demonstrate a willingness to pay for our national defense rather than put it on the credit card? Mr. Speaker, let's get on with that big national debate, and let's finally focus on jobs and getting the economy going as we reduce our long-term deficit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves the balance of his time. Gentleman from Wisconsin. Gentleman from Wisconsin reserve the balance of his time. Gentleman from Maryland.